What is going on, guys? It is Friday, October 21st, 2022, the day before UFC 280 Charles Oliveira versus Islam Makhachev for the lightweight title, and a litany of other amazing fights on UFC 280. And this is going to be my UFC 280 pre-fight stream, which I've done about basically like 70 of them throughout the week. But essentially, every pay-per-view, the Friday before, I do a really long stream, like a 2-hour stream, 3-hour stream, which we've been killing them this week, to be quite honest. So here I am. We're going to talk about the fights. I'm going to go through my full card predictions, which I usually do on these streams as well. I haven't even locked in my full card predictions yet. And we're just going to dissect UFC 280. We've had the weigh-ins. We've had the press conference. We have every possible detail that we could ever imagine on UFC 280. And, has anything changed? Not really. We're going to talk about that. But we're just going to go through every possible, different little aspect of UFC 280. We're going to talk about every fight on the card. And that's pretty much it. Before I get into anything, okay, we've been talking about this quite a bit. We've done a, stream I think every day this week almost. And we've talked about UFC 280 primarily. But for the people who might have forgotten, and by some chance, if I can save one person this heartache, I want to do it right this very second. UFC 280 prelims, the first prelim starts at 10 a.m. Eastern time. The main card starts at 2 p.m. Eastern time. Okay? Let me repeat that. The very first prelim begins at 10 a.m. Eastern time. The main card starts at 2 p.m. Eastern time. Do not oversleep and somehow miss UFC 280. Do not. You've been warned. I'm trying to save you guys because I know some people are going to, somehow not realize it. Also, someone just said it starts at actually 10:30 a.m. One of the fights got canceled. I forgot. One of the fights were canceled, but 10:30 a.m. still 2 p.m. Eastern time main card. Sleep in your Venom gear. Take a shower tonight. Put your Venom gear on. Venom gear drip from head to toe. We're talking, Venom gear shirt, Venom gear hat, Venom gear socks, Venom gear sweatpants. Have everything ready to go. Venom, hot dog brander. Have it all ready to go when you go to sleep tonight. Like you're putting out your clothes for your first day of school, or you're putting on I don't know. You get the point. And so that way tomorrow, set your alarm nice and early. I'm always up early anyway, so I ain't got to worry about it. And then you are ready to go, because I couldn't imagine what a travesty it would truly be if you missed UFC 280, because it's a hell of a card. I am super excited for this card. I cannot wait. The anticipation is killing me. I actually wish it was tomorrow night, though. It's going to feel a little bit empty tomorrow night, honestly. But it is what it is. It's such a great card. It's not the end of the world that the card is starting a bit early. Okay. Now, before we get into anything else, guys, do me a favor. If you have not already, I've seen quite a few of you already have. But if you have not already, do me a favor and like the stream. I would greatly appreciate it. I will be streaming tomorrow as well. I'll be doing a live UFC 280 watch along. I'll probably be on about 1 p.m. or 12:30 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. And I'll also, immediately following the fights tomorrow, I will be doing a UFC 280 post-fight live stream. And then I might do 1 or 2 videos after that, depending on how I'm feeling. Because, we're putting in a lot of work tonight. This is a huge week for MMA fans. This is a huge week for the channel. Tonight, immediately following this stream, which is going to go, this stream will be about 2 hours long, a little less than 2 hours. Immediately following this stream, I will be doing a one championship stream as well. John Lineker versus, I forgot his name at this point in time, but it's scheduled on the channel. You can find it if you want to find it. It's, just go right to my channel, the main page. It shows you my scheduled streams. So I'll be streaming for about 4 hours total tonight. So, yeah, it's John Lineker versus Fabricio de Andrade, 1 on Prime Video 3. So people have been wanting me to stream those cards. Since they're in prime time, I don't mind doing them anymore. Yeah, and I think that's it. We'll get into some questions. Fill the chat with questions. If you're not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel this very second. We are actually at 5,555 subscribers on the channel. Absolute insanity. I think we've gained 200 subscribers in the last like 2-3 days, maybe. I could go back and check, but I'm not sure. It's an insane amount of subscribers in the last couple of days, from the prediction videos, from the live streams. The last few days have been very good for the channel, and I'm super hyped for UFC 280. All right, let's get into some of these questions. I get chills thinking of UFC 280. I mean, it's one of the biggest cards in very many years. I'm really looking forward to it. I've not been this excited for a card since something like Khabib versus Conor or John Jones DC2, or I can't even, there's a couple other, but there's very few main events and cards in general that make me feel the way UFC 280 makes me feel. All right. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm getting chills. I cannot wait for tomorrow. It's weird it's not tomorrow night, but it's tomorrow afternoon. So we'll be there soon enough. What's up, chat? Like the stream? Yeah, like the stream, guys. Thank you. What is up? What's going on? Mukhtar, what's going on? What's up, Prison Mike? Would I like some poetry? Sure. Take your time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What's up, Brandon Vargas? I hope you are doing well, my friend. I hope you are doing well. Okay, go. Where am I at? Someone's complaining. Joey's 10 minutes late. Yeah, it is what it is. I try to schedule it so you guys can know when I was going live. I'm not always perfect on the stream timings. You know, the day can't go by fast enough, but now Joey's here to just wash it away. Yeah, that's what I'm here for, my friend. That's what I'm here for. Pre-fight stream before every single big pay-per-view. Also, if you have friends who are MMA fans, you got a Twitter where you got a lot of followers, you guys talk about MMA, share the stream in any way you possibly can. I think our last pre-fight stream, I want to say it did like 120, 130 viewers for UFC 279, which is pretty good for my channel. So share it around if you guys have people that will actually watch. If not, just like the stream. I would greatly appreciate it. What's the best press conference of all time? In my opinion, it's the one in the gym between Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz for UFC 196. That's my personal opinion. If you haven't seen that one, that one's actually worth going back and watching. That's how good that is. It's finally here, lads. That it is, my friend. We're less than in 24 hours, we'll know the results already. In 24 hours, we will know the results. In 12 hours, we will be getting ready for the prelims. It'll be very close to the first fight on UFC 280. So we're getting there. The clock is ticking. UFC 280 is almost upon us, guys. Charles first TKO, TJ fourth. Okay, I see what you're saying. Charles first round TKO, TJ fourth round TKO, Yan third round TKO. I think that's my exact predictions as well. I don't know if that's what you're saying or is that your predictions or what. I appreciate you. Yes, the prelims do start at 10:30. I forgot a fight got canceled. UFC 280 stream is final. If you're asking about the watch along, yes, I will be streaming UFC 280 live tomorrow. If you want to watch UFC 280 with me, I'll be watching it here on my channel. So I'll have a timer up. We'll be watching the card. We'll be experiencing, a once in every few years type card together. So Charles will walk down Islam and put his lights out. We will see. Well, I'm going to talk about my predictions and go through all my predictions again. John Lineker style. John Lineker, I was so sad when he left the UFC, to be quite honest. I was sad when he left the UFC. Is ONE FC worth watching tonight? I think so. I'm gonna watch it and I'm gonna stream it. So I might, go for a little bit longer, miss like the beginning of the card. We'll see how it goes. I want to try to make this stream at least 2 hours. But yeah. No, he was just stripped of the title, and now only his opponent can win the title at this point in time. You know what I forgot to do? Give me 1 second, guys. I keep the questions coming in the chat. I forgot to tweet out about my stream. So let me tweet it out real quick. Join me live right now for my UFC 280 pre-fight live stream. Hey guys, if you want to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, it's at MMA Joey C. So there you go. If you want to go follow me there, I just tweet out. I try to tweet out the links for the streams. Is this an all-night stream until UFC 280? Absolutely not. I mean, nobody's scared. All right, Islam's not scared. Charles is not scared. They might be a little bit nervous. Neither one of them is scared. Charles versus Islam, one of the best stare downs I've ever seen. I can't wait, man. I can't wait. I can't wait. Yeah, I agree. Will you be live streaming the prelims? Maybe a few of them. I can't. I'm doing a post fight. I'm doing the card. I mean, I can't sit here for 10 hours. I just can't do that. So I'm going to be streaming for roughly 5 hours or so, somewhere around there. I'm probably going to jump on about 1 p.m. So I'm going to catch the last two. I'm going to catch the last two prelims or so, something along those lines. Let's see. I find that okay. Thoughts on TJ Aljo verbal exchange? Joey saying the word washed. What verbal exchange are you referencing? Did you hear Dana talking about how the Hamzat? Yeah, that's basically horseshit. It was like horseshit clickbait. The guy said, "Oh, I have an idea. We should do Hamzat versus Colby on the Leon Usman card," which does make sense. And Dana said, "Oh, I'll get it done," and then everyone ran with it. So it's kind of fake news. It might actually happen, but it's kind of fake news. And he was a little bit more definitive in other interviews. He kind of brought it up on his own. But basically, it's just horseshit. Have you placed any bets yet? I'm not a better. But they're legalizing like mobile betting soon. So I might place one here or there. You watching UFC tonight? I'm watching, yes, ONE FC. I read that as UFC. Yes, I am. Office reference. I don't know what we're talking about. One more sleep, and it's been a long journey. That it has been. It has been a very, very long journey. Backwards for style points. Hey, they call him MMA Joey. Lots of dudes in here, but none gay unless you're Guru MMA. Okay. Thank you for that. I guess, I'm really impressed by that. Not. What's up besides you? Big day tomorrow. That it is. I know you'll be joining me. Hoping for your boy Sugar to come through, but he's not. What fight was bigger than Charles versus Makhachev? I mean, there's plenty of fights that were bigger per se, but for me, not as anticipated. But the ones that I think of as far as what I'm anticipating, Conor Habib, which Cyber said right here, also Jones DC2, and there's probably a couple other. Yes, Lineker missed weight. Tomorrow is going to be crazy. Yes, it is. In Cali, fights start at 7 a.m. That is very true. That's why I said Eastern time, so they could figure it out for their area. I love breakfast, coffee, and UFC. Tomorrow is going to be a great day. Fair enough. What time they are fighting? Who specifically are you referencing? Jose Aldo said that Islam would have the advantage on the ground over Oliveira, but says Oliveira striking will win him the fight. Yeah, I mean, it depends what advantage. If you mean like a strength, like, hold him down type advantage, yes. But will he have the jiu-jitsu advantage? That's the big question. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that Colby versus Hamzat should happen, but I mean, Dana's push for Colby versus Leon. So we'll see. A prayer that Beneil starts his game right. Why are you so heavy on Beneil? Did I miss that? Did I miss that in the Discord at some point? Charles wins. Yeah, we're going to go over my full card picks here in a minute. Sugar Show season finale. That's true. That's very true. Islam may be scary. I don't know what you mean. You mean he's scared? No, he's not. He's not scared. I'm so thirsty. I got like 8 bottles of water lined up because I'm doing 2 back-to-back streams. I was thirsty before I even started the stream, so I'm gonna be just chugging waters talking tonight. Are you doing full card predictions? Not a video, but over this stream, I'm gonna go through my full card prediction. Laughing faces. What's that about? What you eat for dinner? Chicken sandwich. Joey says he was very impressed. Then exhaled some snot. That's okay, Joey. Trust me, I'm laughing a lot. Okay. Lock of the card. Islam Makhachev. What's up, JJ Smoke? We still have like 18 hours, right? Yep. What's up, Billy? What's going on, Billy? DC versus Stipe was a big fight. I looked forward to a lot, similar to tomorrow's main event. Yeah, I wasn't that hyped for it. I was hyped for it, don't get me wrong, but not that hyped. Hey, Joey, did you ever handle the business with that neighbor? No, I did not. Islam will win. The pressure is too much. Well, we'll find out. That's the best part about this sport. We get to find out. Why does that dog literally look like a brown bear? Islam chances is 10% at best. I think it's more than that. Yo, what's up, Joey? I'm excited for tomorrow. Got to wake up early here in Cali. Yeah, so the main card will be on at 11 a.m. for people on the West Coast. I enjoy talking about fights and possible ways it plays out so much as the act of the fighting. Yeah, I agree. I love the anticipation as much as I love the fights themselves. So I would agree with you. Got my no serious injury shirt, my marijuana leaf socks ready for tomorrow. That's the only way to go, bro. That's the only way to go. Do you have your dummy and are you striking it? That's the real question. Joey, can you return the Venom kit I lent you before the fight start tomorrow? I will make sure to get that back to you. It's crazy how much people think Islam will win. I mean, from what I'm seeing, most people think Charles is going to win from the polls I've been seeing. But yeah, there's a lot of people that think Islam will win as well. There's a lot of people that think Islam will win as well. Let me see something real quick. Let me go. I'm going to Tapology right now. In a little bit, we'll go over my full card picks, but I just want to pull it up and lock in a few that I forgot to lock in. Like the co-main event. Yeah, and also if anybody, I know it's getting, within 12 hours or so, 14 hours. If you want to watch any of my UFC 280 content, the link for the entire playlist of everything is down in the description if anybody wants to check that out. So if you want to find any of my videos, first off, they're the top of the channel if you go to the channel. But also, I have a link to the playlist down in the description where you can find every single UFC 280 video I have done outside of the litany of the endless amount of streams that I've done to cover this card. I'll tell you what, as much as I'm excited, I'm going to be relieved on Sunday. It's going to be like kind of disappointing that it's over, but I'm going to be relieved. This week, these last 2 weeks have been crazy. Craziness. Dude has fought Bobby Green. Let's talk about that for a second because I've been a defender of Islam Makhachev in his title shot, okay? John Anik is the UFC shill of all UFC shills. He said Islam Makhachev is one of the greatest UFC lightweights of all time. Think about that for a second. That statement may eventually come true. But based on what at this point in time? His best wins are a short notice Bobby Green and a short notice Dan Hooker. And you're already putting him on the list as one of the greatest UFC lightweights of all time. That's straight up exaggeration at its finest. That is UFC shilling at its finest. That is a disgusting statement. Again, it may eventually come true. You could even say he's one of the greatest UFC lightweights right now. But to say of all time, like he's even done anything, is just flat out lying. It's just flat out lying. I know it's an opinion, but he's beaten nobody up until this point. And you're going to call him one of the best? That is, the definition of drinking the UFC's Kool-Aid. Because what are you watching too much UFC promotion? If Islam Makhachev was any other fighter, okay, had no relation to Khabib, did not train with Khabib, didn't get promoted by Khabib and hyped up by Khabib, Islam probably wouldn't even be close to a title shot right now. Let's be honest. Let alone would anybody be calling him one of the greatest UFC lightweights of all time. Disturbing. Absolutely disturbing. And again, that doesn't mean it can't eventually become true. But John Anik, you're absolutely full of shit. And I'm glad you had to get that Nate Diaz tattoo. Because now you're just selling wolf tickets. Nick Diaz said it best. Wolf tickets. Wolf tickets. So to call him with that resume, to call him one of the greatest UFC lightweights of all time is a slap in the face to the actual greatest UFC lightweights of all time. That resume is horrific. That resume is ugly. Yes, he's been dominant. Yes, he deserves a title shot. Yes, may he eventually prove to become one of the best UFC lightweights of all time. In a couple fights, if he goes out there and starches Oliveira, and then let's say he defends against Gamrot, and he beats Gamrot, and then he defends against Fiziev, and then maybe he puts out Chandler, then we can have that discussion, okay? We can have that discussion somewhere in the middle of all those fights. But to say that right now, if that's accurate, if you deem that accurate, where is Bobby Green on that list? Because you're giving Islam Makhachev basically legacy off of beating Bobby Green on short notice. That shit really rubbed me the wrong way. I was tired, so I didn't really talk about it too much on last night's stream. But that shit really rubbed me the wrong way. Like, I understand promotion and all, but geez Louise, John Anik, can you gobble the UFC and Islam's, can you gobble them up enough? Disturbing, straight up lie. And then apparently he had said it previously and caught some flack, and he was like, yeah, I caught some flack for saying this, but I really believe it. No, you can believe, okay, they can become one of the great, but he hasn't proven anything. That's like me saying I'm one of the greatest UFC heavyweights of all time. I'm undefeated in the UFC. I'm undefeated. I'm one of the greatest of all time. That doesn't make it true. I don't have the resume for it. The evidence does not support that claim. And that's basically what John Anik did. He made a claim, and there's no evidence to support it. I get its opinion, but there's no evidence to even remotely support that, okay? Just straight up disturbing, UFC shilling to the max. I don't get it, and it actually rubbed me the wrong way. So now that I'm done talking about that, let me find out back where I was in the questions. If Charles beats Islam, is he the GOAT of lightweight? I believe the argument can be made. The argument can be made. Is it open and closed? Not yet. I think one more win makes it open and shut. But the argument can be made, and I would lean on that side. I would say Charles is the greatest lightweight of all time if he defeats Islam. And, I know some people are going to say, oh, Khabib never got touched and blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. A win is a win, okay? A win is a win. So you can argue semantics if it's tied, but according to Khabib, Islam is one of the greatest fighters he's ever trained with, he's ever, done anything with. So based off Khabib's own logic, Charles is now becoming one of the greatest of all time. I think Oliveira is underestimating Islam because he hasn't fought a top contender. They don't know how good Islam is, and that could be his downfall. I do not believe he's underestimating him, okay? I get what you're saying, but I don't believe he's underestimating him. Most people want Charles to win, but most people aren't betting on it. If I had access to convenient, easy betting, I'd probably do a TJ Oliveira parlay. Because from what I understand, they're both underdogs. I would take that in a heartbeat. If you have access to easy mobile betting, somebody bet on Charles TJ parlay. Joey says, okay, whatever gets me paid. I don't have the answers. You can call me Sweat. Okay. What's the meal for tomorrow going to be? I'm ordering 5 guys around 1 p.m. I haven't even thought about it yet. So I don't know. I might order some pizza like maybe noon or something. I usually don't eat super early. So it's kind of a weird time for me. Ooh, okay, read that. Hasbullah talk is so cringe. I agree 100%. If Charles beats Islam, is he the new lightweight GOAT? Answered that already. Islam getting a title shot after beating Bobby Green, dead. I do believe he deserves it more than anyone else. And it's not his fault he didn't fight top contenders. But to call him a GOAT already, disgusting. The Islam riding is crazy. Yeah. I think the main card starts at 10 p.m. Eastern. How is he an all-time lightweight? All he had to do to back up was his UFC win streak. Yeah. Does Michael Chandler or Islam Makhachev have a better resume? I think both of them have garbage resumes, to be quite honest. I would probably say Makhachev, honestly. Chandler has a win over a washed-up Tony Ferguson. He was losing that fight, and then a win over Dan Hooker. Did he almost beat Charles Oliveira? Yes, but he didn't. He did not. What would you rate Kevin Lee's wrestling? Depends at what point in time. I would rate it fairly decent, above average. I'm not gonna say it's the craziest elite of the elite, but it was really good. Yeah, that was corny to say. I agree. I'm just here supporting. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate the support. I do really appreciate the support. Without you guys watching, I'm just sitting in a room here by myself doing nothing. If you guys have not already, do me a favor and like the stream. I would greatly appreciate it if you like the stream. Also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, scroll down right now and subscribe to the channel. I will be going live for UFC 280 tomorrow. You can watch the entire main card plus a few prelims with me tomorrow afternoon. Okay, let's carry on with the questions. Basing their opinions on a father, Habib, and gym partners and the whole Dagestan wrestlers. Yeah, it's quite disturbing, to be quite honest. It's quite disturbing. It makes no sense. You're gonna have to be more specific. If you're talking about the main event for 280, it's not until tomorrow. He wins are short notice, but Green went the rounds with Fiziev. He smoked him and Hooker in 2 minutes, not defending him, but he dominated. He did dominate them. That doesn't make him one of the greatest lightweights of all time. So I'm scheduled to shoot 3 interviews plus B-roll for fighters tomorrow at 10 a.m., 1 hour from my house. I might turn it on in the car on the way home, but I'll be 1.5 hours late for the pay-per-view. Dude, cancel that shit. Islam has no elite wins, but his title shot beating. Yeah, I think he deserves a title shot. He's dominated these guys. Guys have pulled out. It's not his fault. He hasn't fought elite competition. I will not delegitimize his title shot claim. Okay, I will not delegitimize that. But the GOAT talk is very much premature. Is all I'm saying. Islam would be 1 win away from a title shot without the Habib affiliation. He has a number 6 ranked win and just would need a 1 top 5 win. Who's his number 6 win? Who are you talking about? 100% Islam is running on Habib's wave, as Charles said. Islam believes Charles is scared because Charles didn't mention his name, but again, why would he? Without Habib, Islam is less than Gamrot. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely debatable there. Hooker's kind of washed so these days. I don't know, you misspoke there or something. Not to sound like I'm hating, but let's not forget Islam couldn't beat Thiago Santos as easily as he beat Bobby Green, Dan Hooker. You mean Thiago Moises? I'm an undefeated welterweight with 0 wins but 0 losses, meaning I'm the GOAT. I agree. What fight you think will be announced during UFC 280? I don't know. There's a possibility for Stipe Jones, but I got my suspicions it's just not gonna happen. Do you believe Oliveira when he says round 1 KO? Is he capable of it? That's my official prediction. His first round TKO for Charles Oliveira. And you know what? I know it was kind of fun to say for a while. Can we please stop? Not that you did, but I've been seeing way too much of this recently. Can we stop calling the man Charlie Olives? This shit's getting old. Do you think Muradov can KO Barallo? I think it's possible. Do I think it's likely? No. Is Islam a GOAT for beating Bobby? Bobby must be a GOAT too. Yeah. Thiago got 30-26 by Demir and 30-25 by Manil. Okay. Could you imagine if Charles wins and then defends it? That'd be impeccable. What a resume that would be. Rumor has it that Okay, I don't need I'm not even gonna read that one. Sorry, my friend. Because why would I? That doesn't seem very aesthetically pleasing to me. That Sean O'Malley GTA character made me laugh. Does he not look like a create a character on GTA? Um, does he not look like a create a character on GTA? That's what Sean O'Malley looks like. What's up, Craig? What's going on? I'm so ready. I am too. I am too. Is Kobe versus Chimaev stuff true? Not really. Partially, but not really. It's just clickbait at this point. It has no real substance behind it. Of course, it could happen. I do believe that it will happen, but there's no real validity to it other than Dana basically said that's the fight he wants. You know, Hooker was ranked number 6 when Islam beat him. People tend to forget that. Yeah, because Hooker was, coming in on 1 week's notice. That's probably why. Can't wait for Kaio to fight tomorrow. Agreed. Was it true the start time for 280 was moved back 30 minutes? Yes, there was a fight cancellation. Do you think they will announce Joan Miocic main event tomorrow during a pay-per-view stream? I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna say no, but it's very possible. What's up, Merk Lee? Thank you for being a member of the channel. I greatly appreciate you. Um, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, let's go to Tapology. Let's go to Fight Center. Let's go to UFC 280, and let's lock in all my predictions. Okay, we're gonna go from bottom to top, the entire card, and I'm gonna lock in all my predictions. Okay, Lena Landsberg versus Carl Rosa. I think is how you pronounce her name. 40 years old for Lena Landsberg, 27 years old. There's no way I'm taking 40-year-old Lena Landsberg. I mean, this is a low-level MMA fight. She hasn't even won a fight since. I mean, she has a win over Macy Chaston, which is actually a solid win. That's 3 years ago. In women's MMA, honestly, I feel like a lot of these fights are toss-ups regardless. So maybe you can go with Lena Landsberg. I'm not going to go with her. I'm going to go with the younger Carl Rosa. I think she wins this fight, and I'm picking her by decision. I'm picking her by decision. It just seems like most women's fights go to decision. Makhachev versus Malcolm Gordon. I have a full breakdown and prediction video of this fight on the channel. I am going Muhammad Makhachev via second round submission. I could see him getting it done late first round, but I think it's a lock that Makhachev gets it done in 2 rounds. I think he's too much for Malcolm Gordon. If Makhachev isn't able to submit him, because Malcolm Gordon's a decent step up, I think that it'll be Makhachev by decision, but I think he does get the finish. I think he does submit him. I think the wrestling is too dominant. The jiu-jitsu is too dominant. The submission skills is too dominant. And I'm going Muhammad Makhachev via second round rear naked choke. That's what I'm going with. And I think that's I doubt that pick falls through. Armin Petrosian versus AJ Dobson. Apparently, according to Topology, Petrosian's the favorite. AJ Dobson is a slight underdog. 31 years old, 30 years old, 6'3" to 6'1", 71-inch reach, 76-inch reach. I think Petrosian's the better striker. I think Dobson's going to look to wrestle, but is he going to be able to wrestle? He got out wrestled by Jacob Malkoun in his last fight 7 months ago. Both guys are coming off losses. Caio Borrallo to Armin Petrosian. So he does have issues with grapplers. But I don't think Dobson's the level of grappler. I think Dobson could get it done. But I don't think it's likely. I think Petrosian has the better striking. I'm going Petrosian first round TKO. I just think he's able to stuff the takedowns. I think Dobson may hang out with him on the feet a little bit too much. Dobson has the reach advantage, but I think Petrosian's a more seasoned striker, and I think he'll win that fight via first round TKO. Abu Bakar Nurmagomedov versus Gadzi Omagadziev. Who am I picking in this fight? This is the one I do not have locked in yet. I think this is a 50-50 fight, to be honest. Both guys are Russian. They're super friendly. You saw them like hugging each other at the weigh-ins. I don't know who I'm going with in this fight. I think both of them are excellent grapplers. But I don't know who's the better striker here. I don't know who's the better striker. I think regardless, you look at them, they win the majority of their fights by decision. I think regardless of where this goes, I think it ends up going to decision. Who wins? You have 32 years old, Nurmagomedov, 29 years old, Omagadziev. 5'11" to 6'1", 73-inch reach, 71.5-inch reach. According to Tapology, the odds are basically even, which I would agree with. Who am I going with? Who am I going? This is a tough fight to pick. I'm gonna go with Nurmagomedov via decision. I think, maybe he'll get some to control time against the fence. I think it's gonna be a very gritty, close fight, but I'm going Nurmagomedov via decision. Maybe just a little bit crisper on the feet. I feel like Godzi has more power, but I really, I haven't really rewatched a lot of recent fights, so it's hard for me to 100% say right now. That's why I don't do full card prediction videos yet, just because I like to go back and really dive deep into their past fights and really look over everything. But I'm going to go Nurmagomedov by decision. I just think it's a gritty fight. It's a little bit more control time. Maybe wins it 29-28. Okay, moving up the card, Volkan Ozdemir versus Nikita Krylov. This is a difficult fight for me. I've picked Volkan Ozdemir in his last two fights. I picked him in his last two fights. I picked him against Magomed Ankalaev. I picked him against Paul Craig. He got it done against Paul Craig, but Paul Craig's pretty much a bum at this point. No offense to Paul Craig fans. Nikita Krylov looked great in his last fight against Alexander Gustafsson. But what does that really mean? Alexander Gustafsson's basically washed at this point. I've always been, of the belief that Volkan Ozdemir was underrated. He had a very good fight with DC that he was winning early. He has nasty power in the clinch. He has good hands. He has good grappling, good takedown defense. Doesn't Nikita Krylov get it done? Nikita Krylov's been, inconsistent over the course of his career. He's got a decision win over Johnny Walker, the KO win over Gustafsson, but Gustafsson's washed up. Ozdemir's getting up there in age, but they're in the light heavyweight division where age is a little bit more forgiving. A little bit of a reach advantage for Nikita Krylov. I'm going to go Volkan Ozdemir, and I'm going to go Volkan Ozdemir first round KO. I think probably KOs him in the clinch. Volkan Ozdemir has nasty, dirty boxing. So I'm going to go Volkan Ozdemir first round TKO. I could see, Nikita Krylov's just too inconsistent. He's well-rounded, but I think Volkan Ozdemir, I'm going to pick him, until he fails me. I'm going to pick him in. I'm going to ride Volkan Ozdemir until the wheels fall off and he looks really bad because I still think he's a quality fighter. Okay, moving up the card, Mahmoud Muradov versus Caio Borralho. This is a fight where you have Caio Borralho, who's looked very impressive. He's gotten 2 UFC wins since his win on the Contender Series roughly a year ago. He's a very good grappler. Mahmoud Muradov is not a terrible grappler, but he's more of a striker. He has decent KOs. I could see him potentially winning by KO. Caio Borralho doesn't have the best striking. But I think Caio Borralho is going to come out there, take him down, beat him up, control him in the first round, then the second round, get a submission. I'm going to go Caio Borralho. I'm going to say second round rear naked choke. I think the grappling is going to be too much. And he fights smart. He's not going to come out there and get into a brawl for the sake of getting into a brawl. And for Muradov, he's been out over a year. His last fight was a loss to Gerald Meerschaert via rear naked choke. His last wins against Andrew Sanchez 2 years ago. He hasn't beat the best of competition in the UFC. He's 32 years old. Caio is 29 years old. Caio, same reach basically. Just Caio is the younger, faster, better grappler, and I think he gets it done second round submission. Moving up the card to the featured prelim, Belal Muhammad versus Sean Brady. I think this is going to be a gritty fight. I think Belal is a little bit better striker. I think Sean Brady is a little bit better grappler. And I had a full breakdown and prediction video for this on the channel. I'm going Sean Brady via decision. Belal Muhammad's 34 years old. Sean Brady's 29. Both similar reach, similar height. I think, people look at Belal Muhammad and think of him as a grappler. And he is primarily a grappler. He out-grappled, Vicente Luque in his last fight. He out-grappled Wonderboy Thompson the fight before that. But Belal Muhammad has had issues being controlled up against the fence. Even in fights he won. He didn't look particularly great against Damian Maia. I think Sean Brady's just going to win this fight on positional control. I think this is going to be a gritty fight. It's a 3-rounder. We don't really have to worry about Sean Brady's cardio in 3 rounds, even though he did gas a little bit in the Michael Chiesa fight. But if it was a 5-rounder, I would really be worried about Sean Brady, but it's not. So I think Sean Brady pushes Bilal against the cage. I think he gets him down a couple times. I think he controls him. And I just think he just racks control time and wins via decision. I could see this being like a 29-28 decision for Sean Brady. I'm going Sean Brady. I'm pretty confident in that pick as well. Okay, moving up the card, the first fight on the main card of UFC 280. We have Caitlin Chukagian versus Manon Fiorot. I am going Manon Fiorot via second round TKO. People love to shit on women's MMA, okay? And I'll shit on a terrible fight just as much as the next guy. I enjoy it, okay? My ear's itching right now. This is a great women's fight. But I think Caitlin Chukagian is an elite women's flyweight. Manon Fiorot is the girl or the woman that people think could be the answer to Valentina Shevchenko. She's looked very good in her UFC fights. She beat Jennifer Maia. She beat Mayra Bueno Silva. She beat Tabitha Ricci. She beat Victoria Leonardo. She has a decent. I mean, she beat a lot of these girls by TKO. She's got 2 wins by TKO in the UFC, 2 wins by decision. I just think she has more power. And where Chukagian wins is with just outpointing you, volume and outpointing you and footwork. I just think Fiorot is going to land the more damaging shots. She's going to bust off Caitlin Chukagian. Fiorot has great side kicks to the body, great oblique kicks. I just think she's going to land the more damaging shots. I think she's going to pick her apart. I think Chukagian's going to circle, try to pump the jab, just try to throw combinations. And I think, Chukagian's going to throw 3 punches. Fiorot's going to throw 2 and land a harder, combination, bust her up, and then eventually finish her in the second round via TKO, catch her on the feet, maybe with a body kick, maybe with a right hand, drop her, put her down, finish her with ground and pound. And I think Manon Fiorot is going to be next in line for a women's flyweight title shot. There you go. Moving up the card, one of my favorite fights on the card, but every fight on this card is one of my favorite fights on the card, to be quite honest. Beneil Dariush versus Mateusz Gamrot. This is an amazing fight. Beneil Dariush is highly underrated, okay? Beneil Dariush is highly underrated. I think Dariush is the better striker. I think if Beneil Dariush wins this fight, I see him winning via, like a TKO body kick of some sort. We've seen Gamrot get exposed a little bit in the Sarukian fight with body kicks. I thought Sarukian beat Gamrot in his last fight, and I thought it was pretty clear. Beneil, though, he's getting up there in age. He's 33 years old, but he looks like he's 150. He's coming off an injury. He's been out for a year and a half. His last win was against Tony Ferguson. I just think Gamrot's the new breed. He's 31 years old. He's riding high on a nice little win streak. He's not coming off an ankle break or a leg break or anything like that. I just think Gamrot's a little bit better grappler, and I think he'll win this fight. It'll be a gritty, grind-em-out fight, control time, takedowns, scrambles, and I think Gamrot's just a superior grappler, and I think he'll be able to take Dariush down, land some good shots, control him on the ground. I think Dariush will scramble back to his feet, but he'll lose rounds that way. I'm thinking like a 29-28 Gamrot, maybe even a 30-29 or 30-27 for Gamrot as well. I could see him just out-grappling Beneil just a little bit every round and winning the fight that way. Landing some good damage, controlling Beneil in certain situations. But we'll see. Beneil's very good. He's very underrated. He's a good striker. He's a good grappler. He's very well-rounded. But he's getting up there in age. He looks very, very old. He's coming off an injury. He's coming off a long layoff. There's a lot of factors going against him. So I'm going Mateusz Gamrot via decision. Okay, moving on to the featured fight on the main card. Again, most of these fights, I have full breakdown and prediction videos on the channel. I linked the playlist down in the description if you guys want to go check out those full videos at any point in time. Petr Yan versus Sean O'Malley. And what an amazing fight this is. This is going to answer questions about Sean O'Malley. How good is Sean O'Malley really? How good is he really? He's fighting one of the best bantamweights in the world in Petr Yan, arguably still the bantamweight champion in some people's minds. Okay, I don't believe that Petr Yan lost to Aljamain Sterling. I'm not going to claim it's a robbery because it was not a robbery, but it all comes down to that first round, and I thought Petr Yan did enough to win that first round. I know some people are going to say, you're crazy, you don't know what you're talking about, 10-8 second round, blah, 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 blah. It is what it is. Yan lost. It doesn't change the fact he's one of the best in the world. O'Malley has fought nothing but garbage cans outside of Pedro Munoz and Marlon Chito Vera. And what happened in those fights? Let's take a trip down memory lane. What happened in those fights? Against Pedro Munoz, UFC 276. It was an uneventful fight. It went a round and a half. First round, Pedro Munoz won with leg kicks. I know O'Malley and his caught like, deep throaters want to say O'Malley checked every kick. That's not true. That's not accurate whatsoever. I believe Pedro Munoz won that first round, and I think it was a clear first round for Pedro Munoz. Second round was uneventful. Sean O'Malley landed the better shots with his hands. It was going Sean O'Malley's way, but it wasn't like super eventful, and it only lasted, 3 minutes or so. He pokes Pedro Munoz in the eye. Pedro Munoz cannot continue. And then Sean O'Malley goes on to cry and whine and say, Pedro Munoz quit, and this and that, and blah, blah, blah. So there's nothing you really take away from that fight. The only way to describe it is inconclusive. I don't know how good Sean O'Malley is based on the Pedro Munoz fight. And I just think he kind of choked a little bit. He didn't do a whole lot in that fight. The other fight, Marlon Chito Vera, we know what happened there. It lasted one round. Marlon Chito Vera brutally chopped the legs of Sean O'Malley. Then he shucked him to the ground and brutally flash KO'd him with ground and pound elbows. And then Sean O'Malley was stretchered out of the cage with no serious injury. And he claimed it was a fluke. So the two best fighters that he's fought, he's one's inconclusive. We didn't get to see the fight play out. The other one he lost via first round TKO. You look at the other guys he's beat, Holly and Paiva. People were hyping him up. It wasn't that good. It wasn't that good of a win. Chris Montino, one step away from a literal garbage can. No disrespect, but Chris Montino doesn't belong to be on the UFC roster and didn't belong in the bantamweight division, and he took it on short notice. And Sean barely stopped him, okay? Don't get me wrong, Sean beat the living shit out of him, but he had far too much trouble for a guy who doesn't belong at the weight class, for a guy who doesn't belong in the UFC, and for a guy moving, coming in on a week's notice. So I'm going Petr Yan, one of the best in the world. I think Petr Yan, I have him at third round TKO right now, but I think Jan's really going to be beating the shit out of him. It's going to be like an O'Malley Chris Montino fight where O'Malley's getting beat up and people are start looking at it like, any second now, and O'Malley's going to be tough and he's going to grind it out and he's going to make it to the third round. He's going to finish early in the third round. Petr Yan, third round TKO in the featured fight on UFC 280. Moving on to the co-main event. Aljamain Sterling versus TJ Dillashaw for the bantamweight title. TJ Dillashaw attempting to become the three-time bantamweight champion, okay? Attempting to become a three-time bantamweight champion. Aljamain Sterling trying to get the respect that he deserves. Regardless of what you think, he did win. He won the second fight against Petr Yan. It was close enough. That in itself deserves respect. Aljamain Sterling has good wrestling. He doesn't have the greatest of striking. His striking is very kind of funky. Look at his nickname. TJ Dillashaw is getting up there in age. He's 36 years old. He's coming off an injury. He's fought once in the last, like 4 years, basically. Yeah. Jeez Louise. He's essentially fought once. He's fought once since Henry Cejudo. So that was 3 years, 8 months ago. So in the last 3.5 years, he's fought once. That's a better way to say it. Because you go 4 years, he's fought twice. I am worried about the age of TJ Dillashaw. I am worried about the injuries of TJ Dillashaw. I'm worried about the EPO use of TJ Dillashaw. I'm worried about the long layoff for TJ Dillashaw because he hasn't fought since, 14 months ago was the last time he fought against Corey Sandhagen in a fight that I thought he lost. But does TJ Dillashaw get it done? I believe TJ Dillashaw wins this fight, and I believe he does it fairly dominantly. Aljamain Sterling, people think he's some like great grappler, great wrestler. He doesn't have great takedowns. The way he has success is he creates scrambles with his striking, with the catching of kicks. He creates scrambles, and then he looks to snatch your back. And then people keep saying, Oh, Aljo's gonna backpack him. That's the corniest fucking line I've ever heard in my entire life. If you're out there telling people, "Yeah, Aljo's gonna backpack him," just shut up. Just shut your mouth, okay? That's corny as shit. TJ Dillashaw has notoriously decent wrestling and takedown defense. He has great footwork, and he carries his hands naturally low when he strikes. I believe that is a perfect combination to stuff the takedowns of Aljamain Sterling, which he already doesn't have the best entries, okay? Then you look at Aljamain Sterling striking. I know he's outstruck a lot of guys in the past. You know, he outstruck Pedro Munoz, this and that. His striking has been predicated on the threat of the takedown. So TJ Dillashaw, not worried about the takedown. He's going to be able to let his hands go. His hands are low, ready to dig the underhooks to defend the takedowns. I think TJ is going to go out there and make this fight look easy. And I think he's going to beat up Aljamain Sterling. TJ has a super high fight IQ. I think TJ is going to go out there, stuff the takedowns with ease, get more confidence as the rounds go on. He's going to chip away at Aljamain Sterling. I believe that TJ will probably win every round. Maybe gets taken down once and maybe loses that round. It's a close round where it's half grappling, half striking. And I think TJ Dillashaw will finish Aljamain Sterling in the fourth round. I'm going to say like a fourth round head kick where he rocks him and then he follows him against the cage, drops him with like a right hand and finishes him up against the fence. I'm going TJ Dillashaw fourth round TKO. And, you know, I could see it even happening a little bit earlier as well, but I'm going to go fourth round. TJ seems to like to get it done in the later rounds. I think TJ Dillashaw is just too much for Aljamain Sterling. I'm very confident in that pick. If it wasn't for the, you know, the couple factors, the age, the injury, the inactivity, you know, I'd be like, how is TJ an underdog? Because he's an underdog, apparently. But with those factors, I kind of understand people picking Aljamain. Aljamain's going to have to get him down. He's going to have to get him down early and often, and I just don't see that as a potential outcome. It's possible, of course. TJ just had a knee injury. He's coming off a knee injury. So we'll see. Really looking forward to that co-main event, but I got TJ Dillashaw fourth round TKO, guys. Okay, moving on to the main event, Charles Oliveira versus Islam Makhachev. I mean, what an incredible main event. I cannot wait for this main event. For the vacant lightweight title, even though Charles Oliveira is really still the lightweight champion. I mean, we got 10 win streak, 11 win streak, okay? I believe it's Makhachev's on a 10-fight win streak. Oliveira's on an 11-fight win streak. Oliveira just blazing through contenders left and right, super active, starches Justin Gaethje back in May, starches Dustin Poirier back in December, starches Michael Chandler back in May of last year, beats Tony Ferguson before that, beats Kevin Lee before that. I've been a big believer in Charles Oliveira for quite a while, okay? I've been a big believer in Charles Oliveira for a long time. I've not picked against him in like the last 4 or 5 years. I've not picked against him since I started this channel. Islam Makhachev is a very good matchup for Charles Oliveira. And the fact, I mean, I don't, you know, that doesn't actually sound right. I believe these guys are each other's worst matchups, is what I mean. Okay. So, you know, Charles Oliveira could very well get taken down and just wrestled and beat up, and then eventually finished in the later rounds by Islam. But you look at Charles, he's a nightmare matchup for Islam as well. Charles is very, very good on the feet. He has nasty power. He has technical striking. He has great leg kicks. He has great clinch work. He has good grappling. He has amazing jiu-jitsu. He has lightning fast submissions. So that's a nightmare matchup for Islam Makhachev as well. I think that Oliveira is going to come out guns a-blazing. I think he's going to have a point to prove. I think he's more motivated than ever. I think Makhachev has sloppy takedown entries. Once he gets a hold of you, he has very good trips and throws. But I think Charles is going to come in aggressive, but also a little bit more measured, if that makes sense. So he's going to come out. He's going to be very weary of the body lock and the takedown attempts of Islam, just not let Islam get a hold of him. And I think Islam cannot hang on the feet. I do not believe Islam can hang on the feet. I think that Oliveira is going to come out. I think he's just going to go for the kill right away. And I think Makhachev's going to shoot in on a couple takedowns, but Oliveira is going to be ready, have his base ready to just, you know, back out of it. I think Oliveira's very good in the clinch. I think Oliveira can have some success in the clinch with the knees. And I think late first round, because I think Oliveira is going to be throw a couple combinations, tag Islam, back away, go back in, leg kick, tag Islam with some teeps. I think Islam's going to be trying to catch kicks and take him down. And I think as the round goes on and Oliveira's more sure that Islam's not taking him down, I think that Oliveira just starches him out, rocks him with a bad right hand, drops him with a combination, finishes him off via TKO ground and pound. Or I could see a scenario where Charles hurts him badly, Islam shoots in on a takedown, a sloppy takedown, and Charles Oliveira guillotines him in the first round. The more it goes past 2, I favor Islam to win by a late round stoppage. I think the most likely scenario for Islam to win, obviously, just grapples Charles Oliveira, but I think Oliveira would fade if Makhachev does have success with the grappling early and often. And if Makhachev wins, I see him winning via like a 4th round TKO, ground and pound, or even like a 4th round submission for Islam Makhachev. But I'm going Oliveira right out the gates, berserker, super aggressive, but not aggressive where he's going to just walk into a takedown. And I think he's just going to brutalize Islam Makhachev as he's looking for the clinch. Charles Oliveira, nasty combination, put him down, finish him off. And Charles Oliveira is your new lightweight champion, but he also defends the lightweight belt at the same time. And I believe with a win over Islam Makhachev, Charles Oliveira becomes the greatest UFC lightweight of all time. And there you go. There's my full card picks. I'm going Charles Oliveira, first round TKO. I'm really looking forward to this card. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. And now you have my full card picks. My full card picks for UFC 280. There's 12 fights on the card. Again, Oliveira first round TKO, Dillashaw 4th round TKO, Yan 3rd round TKO, Gamrot by decision, Fuhrer by round 2 TKO, Brady by decision, Barallo by submission, Ozdemir by KO, Nurmagomedov by decision, Petrosyan by KO, Makhachev by submission, and Rosa by decision. That is my full card picks. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm going back to answering questions now, but now you guys know every fight that I've picked on UFC 280. And guys, I'm really looking forward to this card. I mean, this is the best card in literal years. This is the best card in literal years. It's amazing. It's stacked. So many great fights. We're really looking forward to this one. Okay, back to the chat. I believe, let me see, where was it at? Euphoric Notes, thank you for the $2 super chat. Hit the like, everyone. Love the streams. Thank you for your donation. This will be going towards UFC 280, paying for the pay-per-view. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for your support. I'm glad you like the streams. And yes, guys, if you are watching this stream right now and you have not liked it yet, I would greatly appreciate it if you like the stream. Also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel this very second. We're trying to creep up to 6,000 subscribers. So I would greatly appreciate it if you guys would subscribe to the channel. All right, guys, I'm getting back to the chat now. I've neglected it for a little bit while we've gone through my full card predictions. So if you have any questions, throw them in the chat. I would greatly appreciate it. So throw some questions in the chat. We will get to that in a second. Okay. Okay. Now, where were we at? I don't know if we were, I'm just going to start it. I'm going to start at this super chat. So I don't remember exactly where we were. If I missed your question, just throw it in. As long as it's good, I'll find it. What's up, Derek? Thank you for being a member. Run up the likes. Appreciate you guys for running up the likes. Is Volkan Ozdemir versus Nikita Krylov a good fight? Yes, it is. I think it's a good fight. I think it's probably ends in a finish. I think it's super gritty. But we'll see. We'll see. I think it makes a lot of sense right now. Jakar Close fights next Saturday. No, he pulled out of his fight, I believe. He pulled out of that fight. He's injured. I hate to break your heart, Craig, but he pulled out. Yeah, Hooker looks pretty washed up these days. All the damage seems to have caught up to him. Yeah. Sad. Very sad. I hate friendly fights. Abu Bakar by decision, probably. We will see. We will see. That's what I have as well. We will see. Charlie Olives is a good nickname. Yeah, but it's kind of corny. Everyone keeps saying it over and over again. How hard do you think Khabib's going to take Islam losing? He's going to make every excuse in the book probably for him. Yeah, Paul Craig looked terrible. I mean, I remember when Damian Maia used to do that. That boy Joey back at it again. Let's go. Make sure you give the chat a like. Thank you, Fishing right now. I appreciate you. I picked Krylov, but he has horrible fight IQ. I agree. What's up, Sean Johnson? I hope you're doing well. Thank you for coming to the stream. I greatly appreciate it. I greatly appreciate it. How do you think Yan gets it done? I already answered that. Is the T silent in Fuhr? That's what I understand. It's pronounced like Fuhr, like floor, but like a U. I don't know. Shouldn't be the main card. Okay. We've talked about that. How is no one talking about how much pressure is on Islam? He hasn't fought in a while. He hasn't been tested yet. And plus, if he loses, he's going to be a murderer's alley to get back to a title. That is very true. Hasn't been tested yet. And to get back to the title, whew, it's going to be tough. Currently watching Islam versus Sarukian. Sarukian did very well in the first round. Would you say Charles' wrestling is better than Armin's wrestling from the fight with Islam years ago? That's tough to say. Sarukian is a very good grappler in his own right. I would probably favor a little bit to Sarukian, but it's hard to say. It's hard to say. Love the shirt. Thank you. I greatly appreciate it. Piotr has such good high-level basics. He turns basically into wizardry. He has nothing extraordinary boxing, a basic ground game, and defensive wrestling, but in his hands, I mean, he's super well-rounded, and I think he's elite in every aspect of MMA. So that's my thoughts on it. Just noticed the shirt. Appreciate you. Joey, did you see Dana White try to book Hamza? Yeah, I mean, he said that he kind of wanted it, but it's kind of was like goaded out of him, and it's not really a real news story, to be quite honest. If Charles loses, will he be able to come champion again? I think it's possible, but difficult. I mean, the lightweight division is just filthy nasty. Filthy nasty. If TJ wins, should he rematch Cruz or Cejudo? I say he rematches Cejudo, and if Cejudo beats him, he gets a title shot. Wouldn't surprise me. Take a look at the guy. Tell me he's not. Yeah, he doesn't pass the eye test. That's for sure. Everyone loves Islam, but man, his major victories have been short notice fights. I don't doubt he's good, but he's the poster boy for handouts in the UFC. Yeah, but no one else deserves it right now. To be honest, I feel TJ will underestimate Jaljo striking. He could get caught by some unorthodox stuff. I don't see it happening. TJ has good reads, good movement, good head movement, good footwork. But he could underestimate him, and that would be a problem. I have a feeling Islam will rock Charles really bad, then finish him on the ground. We will see. I did say I could see Islam KOing him in the first round. I could see that. I really could. Just because Oliveira is not going to respect Islam's striking at all. And then we could see Islam has nasty power. Okay. We don't see it often, but he throws these wild winging punches, and there's no doubt he can put you to sleep. And Oliveira has been clipped so many times. I mean, I could see a scenario where Makhachev wins via first round KO. Charles is live wherever the fight goes. Charles will have a great pressure and pace that Islam never seen before. That is true. Islam striking really isn't that bad. I think it's underrated. Okay. Round 2 sub after some ground and pound. Islam. Okay. I retweeted your tweet about Bo Nichols. Appreciate you, my friend. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Can you repeat your predictions? I missed them. I just did. So there you go. I hope you got them that time. Are you ready to you have tomorrow planned out popcorn? No, I'm going to stream tomorrow. I will be streaming the fight card tomorrow. Islam is always way bigger than his opponent. Charles is as big with elite grappling. This is too much of a big step for him, in my opinion. We will see. What's up, man? Appreciate you. I subscribed yesterday. Appreciate you. Thank you for subscribing. Appreciate it. We are getting close to 6,000 subscribers, which means we are getting close to 10,000 subscribers. And I cannot wait to hit 10,000 subscribers. It's a massive goal for me. And I get there if you guys continue to like the stream. If you haven't liked the stream, like the stream. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, listen, if you're not subscribed, subscribe right now. I do these live streams all the time, every single week, at least 1 or 2 a week. This week I literally did like 10. So if you guys enjoy this type of content, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications. Would appreciate it very much. Mr. Joey, you seem kind of angry today. Did you have a bad day? I had a great day, so I don't know where you're getting that from. You live in the DMV area? Yes, I do. What makes you say that? You think Max Holloway is washed? I hope not, but I kind of think so. His boxing skills have diminished so much. I don't know if they've diminished or it's just Volk is that good. I don't know. Just bought UFC 280. I don't think he's washed. UFC 280, let's go. How long do you wait to buy the card? I usually buy it the afternoon of the card, but now I'll probably just buy it like early tomorrow morning. So, bro, how are you comparing Saruki and It's totally different, but someone asked the question. That's why we were comparing it. 11 hours until UFC 280 starts. Mm. Uh, okay. Continue on. Continue on. What's up, Joey? Love the channel, my guy. I hope Charles beats the brakes off of Islam. We will see. We will see. Thank you for your support. I'm glad you love the channel. I'm glad you've been enjoying the content. I do my best. So I appreciate you just as much as you appreciate the channel. What happens with Dariush if he gets the win? Probably has to fight another contender, to be quite honest. Joe, are you staying up tonight? I'm staying up and watching one championship immediately after this stream. I will stream one championship. And then after that, I'm going to bed. Who would have guessed TJ and Aljo had the most trash talk so far? That is kind of funny. I know people rank their top 3 divisions like bantamweight, lightweight, welterweight, and for me, it's lightweight, then bantamweight, and then welterweight. Okay, I got bantamweight as number 1 always. I'd counter Beneil deserved it and got stiffed because he didn't have heavyweight name backing him. Well, he was injured, dude. So, what weight do you think Charles Islam will actually be fighting at? They probably rehydrate to like 170, 175, I would guess. Maybe even 180, honestly. Oliveira going to KO Islam with ease. We will find out in like 12 hours. Let me know, guys, in the chat who and how are you predicting the main event? Who and how are you predicting the main event? Put it in the chat. Let me know. Oliveira, Makhachev, and by what method, what round? Let me know in the chat. I'm curious. Someone's bound to get it right. One of us is bound to get it right. So let me know in the chat who you are picking. Charles was clipped a lot, and the reason he wasn't finished was because Dustin, Justin, Chandler didn't jump into the guard to finish him. Islam will jump. I agree. They were scared of the jiu-jitsu. Islam Makhachev will not be scared of the jiu-jitsu, which is what makes this fight so compelling. Do you think Gamrot title shot would be crazy if he gets past Beneil convincingly? No, but he's probably gonna have to fight one more time because of Volk coming up. I think it's going to be a little bit wonky in the division. I've soured a little on Islam after he talked a big game and pulled out of that short notice fight with RDA. That was kind of annoying. I made a video on that. Opinion on MMA Guru, would love a collab. I mean, we're vastly 2 different size channels. I don't really know him, so I don't really have an opinion on him, but I know he's successful and I know people do know him and he's popular. So there you go. That's all I have to say. Gamrot would have to beat Dariush and the winner of Chandler Poirier for a title shot. Maybe so. Just like the stream, greatly appreciate you. What weight do you think Charles Islam will actually be fighting at? I already answered that. Islam is about to learn the hard way why calling Charles a quitter is a bad idea. Dude, as soon as Islam called him a quitter, I said, oh, we know what's going on. We know what's going on here. Did you pick Dillashaw over Cejudo in their fight? No, I actually picked Cejudo. I picked Cejudo to beat Dillashaw. Initially, when the fight was announced, I was heavy Dillashaw, and then like maybe 2 weeks beforehand, I switched to Cejudo. I said Cejudo is going to finish him. I didn't trust him at flyweight, and so I got a good read on Dillashaw. All right, I got a good history, and now I'm more than a little miffed with Josh Thompson because I know what you mean. What shirt is that? Link is in the description. The link is in the description if you want this shirt right here. The link is down in the description. I hope you guys like the shirt. Does Beneil get a title shot if he wins? If he has to fight one more against who? Maybe Fiziev. I think that fight would make a lot of sense. What I already read that. The only thing with Max is he seemed a lot slower, but maybe that was just Volk's speed difference. Yeah. Is this the MMA Guru everyone keeps talking about? I don't know what you're talking about, but maybe. I don't know. If Islam loses, does that hurt Habib's legacy? No. Love the show. Thank you. Appreciate you, Clint. I don't believe it hurts Khabib's legacy, but I think people will kinda clown him a little bit. But I really don't I think most of the time that Khabib isn't really trying to talk shit. I just think that it comes off I think he's genuinely being honest about his opinion, and it comes off shitty because of the language barrier and because of the way the media runs with every quote that he says. They just kinda misconstrue it a little bit. In my honest opinion, you are the best MMA YouTuber out there. Wait a little, you will become huge, man. That is very kind words. You are flattering me. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I'm glad you like the channel that much, that you think it's the best MMA channel. That really does mean a lot. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much, my friend, and thank you for your support. Thank you for coming to all the live streams. Thank you for watching the videos. I greatly appreciate you, my friend. We'll see where the channel is going to be next year. I have high hopes for the channel next year. I can't believe where we're already at. So I'm just going to keep grinding and doing my best. We got massive fight card after massive fight card coming up for the end of the year. So it's going to be big for the channel for sure. Is Charles versus Islam the closest we will get to Tony versus Khabib in their prime? Yes, but I will say Charles is a better version of Tony, and Islam's a little bit worse version of Khabib. What do you make of Piotr pushing Sean? Sean's coach says he thinks it will be an easy night. Yeah, of course Sean's coach is going to say that. I don't make anything of it. I think he was just being funny, trying to promote the fight. You notice he didn't shove him particularly hard, but I'm not a fan of it. I don't like it. Why are you going to accidentally try to injure your opponent right before the fight? Knockout by top mount, ground and pound. Oliveira sub round 1 or 2. Oliveira round 1. Charles is going to walk Islam down, too much pressure. We will see. We will see. We will see. 50K subs by this time next year. Wouldn't that be insanity? Remind me, okay? October 21st, 2023. Fishing right now says 50K subs. Could you imagine? I would literally shit myself. Charles, first round KO. All right, so we're on the same page. Charles wins TKO second round. Oliveira wins KO in the first round. Islam by TKO fourth round. TJ wins. Islam takes belt. Sugar picks him apart unless it goes to the ground. I think Petr Yan can beat him everywhere. So Oliveira KO round 2, I guess. I'm predicting Oliveira by knockout in round 3. If it goes behind, I take Islam either by decision or late sub. Yeah, I think the more it goes past round 2, I think it goes into favor of Islam Makhachev. I predict Charles Oliveira first round guillotine after presumably Islam shoots double from anxiety. I think that's very likely as well. But I think Charles is just going to stomp him out on the feet. Third round TKO by Charles. Gaethje ducking Fiziev. Islam doesn't have the hands to hurt him. I think he does. I think he has the power to hurt him. He doesn't have the technical striking ability, but Oliveira does get clipped quite a bit, and it's bound to catch up with him eventually. I think Charles is on Islam's back in the first round. That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. But the thing is, I mean, if Michael Chandler can address the jiu-jitsu of Charles, I think Islam can as well. Charles is going to submit Islam first, second round. Islam going to sleep. We will see. I wonder if Islam would tap because Khabib says, "Oh, it's like chicken tap and this and that." It'd be interesting to see. It'd be very interesting to see. I feel like Charles is at least strong enough to defend himself from a submission until he can get up. That is true. What I'm worried about on the ground for Charles is sometimes in his older fights where he lost, he would consistently spam submissions to the point he would leave himself wide open for ground and pound. So I hope he's learned from that, and I hope with Islam he plays it a little bit more safe. As soon as Islam called him a quitter, the Charles fight win was secure. When will they learn? I know. Crazy to think TJ has fought only once in almost 4 years. That is very crazy. Who did you pick in Yuri versus Glover? I picked Yuri Prohaska by 5th round submission. I'm kidding. I picked him by second or first round TKO. I was just kidding. I'm not trying to lie. I have a video on the channel. Am I the only person that is excited about Cejudo coming back? I have followed him since the Olympics before his cringe came out. I believe you are the only person. I hope Charles KO's Islam calls Habib out. Imagine that. That would be amazing. I think regardless of what happens, it's gonna be like an iconic moment for the sport. Please make an MMA Joey hoodie, a red one and a black one, maybe. I love this, your show. Thank you. I appreciate your support. How do you think Dustin Poirier's resume holds up in lightweight GOAT list? I think it's a solid resume, but in the list, maybe like top 6, maybe. I mean, he's up there. He's up there for sure. He has a decent resume. Dana White says Sean O'Malley could be an international superstar, but Sean is really weak on the microphone at press conferences and interviews. Yeah, I think mostly Sean's just popular with like 16-year-old boys who wear socks with marijuana leaves on them. I think he can definitely become a star. People think he's edgy. This guy's got cool hair and tattoos, and he dresses like a created character from GTA. I think he can become a star, especially if he's winning fights and he's dominant and he like starches a guy like Petr Yan. I think he has what it takes to become a star for sure. He's already very popular. Does that translate to pay-per-view buys? That remains to be seen. Dana says Sean okay, read that. Thoughts on the MMA holes? I wish every MMA YouTube channel nothing but success. That's all I'll say about that. Islam won't be afraid to jump into Charles' guard. I agree. Whew, I'm trying to catch up here, guys. I'm trying to catch up, and I'm almost caught up now. I think Beneil is next. He's doing UFC a favor, then he pulled out from a card, then was back on. He did them a favor. All right. I don't know exactly what that means, but I'll take your word for it. I will take your word for it, guys. Whew. We are how long? We're an hour and a half into the stream. Just a reminder, guys, immediately following this stream, I will be doing another stream for one championship. Immediately following this stream, we'll watch one championship, and we can talk about UFC 280 as well. But just letting you guys know in case you weren't here early. One bottle of water down. First bottle of water down. Second one ready to go. Okay. To be honest, Islam has played down some of Habib's legacy by asking who's Charles beat. Only strikers, given that Charles and Habib have pretty much the same exact competition. I know they don't even make sense when they say a lot of that shit. You're working hard and will be great channel in the future. Keep it up. I will. Charles has 22 finishes. Islam has 23 fights. There you go. Why do you hate Sugar? I do not hate Sugar. Joey's growing fast. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say we're growing like lightning fast. We're doing really good. We're doing solid. The channel's doing good. Guys, if you're watching right this very second and you're not subscribed, if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel right this very second. We currently have 5,569 subscribers. So subscribe, and like the stream. What do you make of Islam not being afraid of the stare down? Usually Charles, I don't think anyone's scared. They're professional fighters. Would you be considered collabing on an MMA newsletter or the regular, or minimum being a guest on a podcast episode? Yeah, I mean each situation is individual. I mean, it depends. It depends who reaches out. I mean, I've had people reach out before, but I'm just kind of real. I'm pretty busy, so it's like hard to like choreograph stuff. But yeah, I mean, I consider it. I'm definitely not going to be a guy that reaches out to people. I'm just not like that. I'm not built like that. But people can message me Twitter and Instagram. I know there's a lot of or at least a few MMA channels that watch mine, and I don't know about a newsletter or anything like that. Or I really don't know. I don't pay too much close attention to MMA YouTube in general, other than kind of just doing generic research. But to answer your question, maybe Islam won't tap. We'll see. Did you see the video where Charles allegedly said, "Yes, I did. I see it. I seen like a picture of it. I seen a picture of it." HE ducking is pretty annoying. Seemed like he was trying to duck Chandler too before he took the fight. Yeah, I just hope the fight comes to fruition. Joey, are you the top of the guy? Are you the top of guy who wears marijuana socks? Am I the type of guy? No. Why does Chael hate Charles so much? He made another video ridiculing someone about Charles about taking Volk's title today. Chael's just a piece of shit. For some reason, he doesn't like Charles. I don't know why, but there you go. How do you predict Yan gets it done? Third round TKO, but I just think he smashes him from bell to bell. I think he destroys him. I think he plays it a little bit safe early, but he just picks him apart, and it's going to be one of those fights where Sean's really getting beat up. Realistically, whoever wins is going to beat Volk, most likely. Bijan 5'5". What do you think about fighters' heights being inflated? I don't know, man. I wish they were more accurate. Have you ever invested in a Hydro Flask? No. Also, I love your shirt. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Who wins, DC or Francis? Prime DC outgrapples Francis for sure. Joey, what happens when your channel gets so big you cannot read every single comment? I can't really read every single one now. I try to, but it is what it is. I mean, there's nothing I can do about that. So I just try to do my best, my friend. I try to do my best, and it is what it is. Okay, so I can exit out of Tapology. Now I'll keep it up. So in case you guys ask me my predictions, what I have, I'm really looking forward to this card, guys. Tomorrow morning, Charles Oliveira versus Islam Makhachev happening. Whew. For those of you, oh, I can't put it. I forgot how to put it up on StreamYard. But I will be streaming UFC 280 tomorrow. So you guys can join me and get my live reactions to the fights tomorrow. So if you want to join me tomorrow, I will be live. As soon as I stop streaming later tonight, I'm going to stream for like 4 hours tonight because I'm doing my UFC 280 pre-fight, followed by my one championship live stream. So immediately following those, I will schedule those on the channel, and we'll see. We'll see how many of you guys show up. I'm genuinely curious how the stream does tomorrow, um, because it's going to be a big card. It's going to be a very big card. We will see. We will see how big it ends up being. Um, so, all right. Back to some questions. Back to some questions. Back to some questions. Uh, All right, where was I at? DC Francis. Joey, okay, read that. DC put Umar Nurmagomedov among top best bantamweights. Of course. Of course. I'm very high on Umar, but he hasn't proved anything yet. But that's his opinion. He can have his own opinion. Is UFC 281 on box office? What does that mean? I don't know what that means. You're gonna have to elaborate for me there. Early thoughts on what a matchup between Habib and Charles would look like. Who would you pick? I would pick Habib just because I think his ground and pound ability and his pressure, he would come out, he would not be scared about Charles at all. He would just back him up, rip him to the ground, and I think he would control him, avoid the submission, and beat him up on the ground and finish him via TKO on the ground. So I'd pick Habib, but it'd be a fun fight. I would be dying to see that fight. I'd be absolutely dying to see that matchup. That'd be an incredible matchup. Hold on one second, guys. Let me check something real quick. Hold on one second. How did I just see that? All right. First female fighter you would want to interview. I don't know. I haven't really put too much thought about it. I think Chandler's a nightmare matchup for Islam wrestler and has never been subbed in the same strength. Yeah, I agree. Chandler would be a tough matchup. Chandler and Islam is a fight that I've wanted to see since Chandler's been in the UFC. Um, who would you pick between Umar and Said Nurmagomedov? I'd probably pick Umar. That's a tough fight to pick. I think Saeed's a little bit better striker. Uh, Umar's a little bit better grappler, but I feel like Umar looks so much smaller. I feel like Umar looks so much smaller. Let me look them up real quick. Umar Nurmagomedov and then Saeed. They're not related, right? I always get confused because everyone has the name. Yeah, Saeed looks so much bigger, it looks like. But yeah, I guess so. I guess so. Um, so alrighty, alrighty, alrighty. Alrighty. Prime DC versus Prime Brock Lesnar. Prime DC wins all day long. I'm gonna watch Embedded episode 6 and come right back. Appreciate you. Just discovered you 2 days ago, and you're already one of my favorites. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. How do you see Yair Giga going? I don't know. That'd be a very fun fight. That would be a very fun featherweight fight. Um, I don't know who I would pick. I'd probably pick Yair. That's a tough fight to pick. Giga's a very good striker, and his real weakness is dealing with pressure. Is Yair gonna pressure him? I don't know. I'd probably lean Yair. Chandler versus Islam is a really interesting matchup. I'd lean Islam if it's 5 rounds. I say if they both lose their next fights, you book Islam versus Chandler. I think that makes the most sense. Do you have any live fight action? If you mean showing the fights, no, I'll get copyrighted, my channel will get taken down. Not know the fights. I'll just be reacting, discussing them, analyzing them, all that good stuff. If Sugar wins, he's gonna sell out his merch, probably. Joey, if Leon Edwards stole your Wi-Fi router right before UFC 280 started, and the only way to get your TV back, you had to choose someone to kickbox him, head kick only, who would you choose? Dude, I don't know. I have no that's too descriptive. I just buy another router immediately, or I'd steal my neighbor's. Imagine back when Chandler was facing Charles. He was not as good of a champ that Charles is. Charles is forever underdog, and he makes good draws. That he does. Who's this guy? Sabib? Yep. Islam's gonna beat Oliveira. Islam's gonna beat Oliveira. Okay, we will see. Do you train? No, I do not. Said and Umar are not related. I did not think they were. Um, as places that I've never heard of either one of them, so I don't know. Prime Rockhold, Prime Adesanya. I would take Prime Rockhold. Gonna eat dinner. I will jump into one stream. Appreciate you, my friend. Who's your favorite fighter in the UFC? Probably Oliveira at this point. He's my favorite fighter to watch for sure. Favorite overall fighter? I don't know. My favorite fighter to watch, Charles Oliveira, and I really do like Charles Oliveira as well. I'm hard right now thinking about tomorrow. Sorry, I can't hold it back. All right, bro. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. I'm I'm not I'm not happy that you're hard while you're watching your stream, but if you're thinking about tomorrow, I guess it is what it is. Um, audio kind of weird. Is the audio weird for anybody else? Is the audio weird for anybody else? Now you're making me nervous. Making me nervous. How high are you on Gamrot? I'm very high on Gamrot. Why don't you smoke, Joey? I just never been interested in it. I just realized. I just scrolled. I'm on StreamYard. I went back on YouTube and I realized StreamYard doesn't show like milestone, uh, like super chat type things. So Derek, thank you for the 6 months of membership. Joey, can we get a scary story? Someone stayed up late on Friday, and then they woke up and they missed the entire UFC 280 card. That's the best I can come up with. I can't even think of a scary story right now. I'm too excited for UFC 280. But thank you, Derek, for the 6 months of membership. I greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate you. I really do appreciate it. If anybody else wants to become a member, you get a loyalty badge next to your name. You get access to the members only Discord where you can message me 24/7, and we have a great community in there. We talk about all the latest MMA news. You get a loyalty badge next to your name for every month, and you also get extra live streams. So it's $3. The link is in the description. If you want to support the channel and become a member, you can. Vic says the audio was weird. Okay. Joe, are you sad about Aldo retiring? Yeah, and especially considering his last fight was against Marab. Especially considering his last fight was against Marab. Not super happy about that. Marab holds him against the fence, and you know, it's just nothing but horseshit, basically. And I hate Marab for that. I absolutely hate Marab for that. So Marab can go to hell. I hate Marab for screwing up Aldo's last run at a bantamweight title when he doesn't even want to fight for a title. And I don't know. But yes, Aldo's one of my favorite fighters, so I'm super disappointed. I'm super disappointed that he is now retiring. Audio sounds okay to me. Okay, I hope it's back to normal. Did you see the video of TJ and Loma sparring? No, I did not. I'm not sure what video you were referencing. So no, I did not see that. Joey, are you also pumped for season finale of House of Dragons? Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I have no idea what's gonna go down, but I'm sure it'll be shocking nonetheless. All right, guys. We're gonna go about another half hour, maybe 45 minutes before the one championship stream. So any more UFC 280 questions, throw them in the chat. We have literally beat UFC 280 to literal death. We have beat it to death. Um, and I mean, we've talked about it from every possible angle. I'm hyped for these fights. I'm super excited. I can't wait. I'm sure a lot of you guys feel the same way. We got everyone's predictions. You guys got my full card predictions as well. So we went over that. I mean, I want to know. I'm going to go look how many hours of streaming did we do tonight? That's what I need to know. Or not tonight, this week. All right. So we're going at least 2 hours tonight. We went 3 hours last night. There's 5 hours. Wednesday, a total of 6.5 after Wednesday. After Tuesday, I believe this is, we're at 6.5, 7, 8, 9. We're at 9, a little over 9 hours, right? So 6.5, 7, 8, 9. So a little over 9 hours. Plus this, it's basically 10, 11, 12 hours. There's 3 hours. Um, and then we've done 14 hours of streaming this week, guys. No, wait a second. Because then 6 days ago, so we did 14 hours, 15 hours, 16 hours, 17 hours, 18 hours, 18 and a half hours, I believe. If you go back exactly 7 days ago, what's showing me on my channel. Um, so that's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, I'm gonna check the audio 'cause someone's still saying the audio is a little bit weird. So let me check the audio real quick, guys. That's pissing me off. Bit weird. Let me check the audio real quick. Sounds normal on my end. Normal on my end. Yeah, it sounds normal on my end. So I don't know. Us being absolutely terrible, I don't even know what to do. StreamYard's messing up somehow. StreamYard is somehow messing up. Okay. Is this the last episode? Yeah, this is season finale. Last episode of the first season. 280 Eve. That it is. It is UFC 280 Eve. By the way, guys, we are 20,000 views away from 1 million channel views. 20,000 views away from 1 million channel views, so we'll probably hit that this weekend. So, that's insanity, absolute insanity. One more sleep, can't wait. You need to rest up, man, get ready for tomorrow. You've been in every night this week, I know. I hope you guys have been enjoying it. I hope you guys been enjoying it. So, we've been here. I've been here every single day this week, and I'm gonna be streaming one championship after this stream. And we're still gonna go for another 45 minutes on this stream or another 30 minutes, 30, 40 minutes or so. So if you have UFC 280 questions, now is the time to throw them in the chat. And we've had for the majority of tonight, we've had like 90 to 105 viewers for the majority of tonight, which is really good for my channel. So appreciate you guys for tuning in, especially for these long streams because these streams, when somebody sees an hour and a half, 2-hour video, a lot of people don't watch it after the fact. So I appreciate you guys tuning in live. Greatly appreciate it. You need to rest up, man, and get ready for tomorrow. Yeah, Joey, get some rest tonight. Long day tomorrow, bro. Thinking of the PFL. Yeah. I don't know if I'll break down that card. I haven't decided yet. But yeah, it's gonna be a long day tomorrow and a long night tonight. It's 5 AM in Abu Dhabi. You think the fighters get much sleep? I hope so. I hope so. Do you think being in Abu Dhabi is an advantage for Islam? I don't know, man. He doesn't live there, so I don't know what the time difference is. We should do a 280-minute stream tonight before the fights. I don't know if that's really possible. We would miss the fights, basically. The Crown, okay. Yeah, the audio is definitely being wonky. Hate to be the bearer of bad news. That's a super old clip, like 2016. But yeah, they sparred. Still sad about Zabit's retirement. Do you ever see the footage of him and Islam fighting in Combat Sambo when they were younger? That was pretty epic. No, I did not. Audio is fine. What's good? What's going on fast? Sounds fine. Okay, I hope it's back to normal. UFC 280 I did. It went up and down a second earlier, and it's all dude, okay. Yes, that's all convos regarding 280, but who is next for Mokaev? I think it'll be a step up in competition. Step up in competition, we'll see. I mean, I hear him, yeah, but he keeps sounding weird randomly and getting quiet randomly. It's usually just completely crisp. I don't know what to say. It's fight day in Abu Dhabi. That it is. Weren't they like 12 hours ahead of us? I'm really looking forward to it, guys. I love watching the streams after the fact. Lots of times I have to commute 2, 3 hours for work, so it's nice to have something to listen to. How often do you listen to them in their entirety? That's what I need to know. But I appreciate you, man, because not a lot of people do. You don't get a lot of views after a 2-hour stream. So I appreciate the people who do rewatch them. You know, YouTube people on YouTube when they're perusing YouTube, people are like, "I'm not watching that. It's an hour and a half." So it's all about the live viewers for the most part. And we're almost over 2,000 views on this stream as well. So that's pretty good for the channel as well. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Will you be surprised if Charles dominate the grappling exchanges? If Charles dominate the grappling exchanges, would I be surprised? It depends what the grappling exchanges are. Like if Charles goes out there and trips down, hold on one second. If Charles Oliveira goes out there and trips down Islam Makhachev and controls him on the ground, I'd be surprised. But if Oliveira defends the takedowns, beats up Makhachev with some knees to the body in the clinch, lands some dirty boxing, I would not be shocked. So, yes and no. I don't see Charles Oliveira going out there and, like, taking Makhachev down and dominating him on the ground. I don't think that's super likely, and if that happened, that'd be crazy, but as far as, like, having success with Makhachev in the clinch or reversing Makhachev and potentially get an advantageous position and controlling Makhachev for, 30 seconds here, then Makhachev scrambles back to his feet, and then Oliveira looks for a submission, and Makhachev scrambles out of that. I could expect some crazy scrambles in this fight. I am expecting some crazy scrambles in this fight, but I think, standardly, as a standard rule, I think Makhachev on the ground in general, once he's able to get Oliveira down and cement the position, that's the key word, cement the position, I believe that Oliveira will have the disadvantage there, and I think Makhachev will be able to control him once he cements the position. I think Oliveira will be scrambling out of there hard. I think Oliveira will not be accepting the position against, Makhachev if he does get taken down, and I think it's in those transitional spaces that Oliveira really has to be successful. Really has to be successful. So if Makhachev gets a hold of him, starts dragging him down, starts to cement a top game position, we have to see Oliveira start to scramble out of that position immediately before Makhachev starts to really control him. Because if he gets into those dominant top game position, it's going to be really difficult for Charles Oliveira to get out of them. So there's your answer. That's a long-winded answer. I think Charles is a lot better grappler than people give him credit for, though. And that's why I don't believe with Makhachev, let's use Makhachev versus Gaethje as an example, okay? You look at Makhachev versus Gaethje, and if Makhachev gets Gaethje down, Justin Gaethje down, it's death. It's over for Justin Gaethje. I don't have that similar sense of dread for Charles Oliveira if he is taken down. I believe he can scramble back to his feet. I believe he can negate the damage. I think he can avoid the submissions, especially early. I think he can scramble back to his feet. I think he can threaten off his back. We'll hear Joe Rogan. We'll hear DC. And if Joe Rogan was there, we'd hear he's in real trouble here. He's in real trouble here. Uh, I don't think Oliveira is like dead in the water if he does get taken down and Makhachev does get on the top position, the top position. But I believe what it really comes down to is not allowing Islam to create those positions and not allow Islam to close the distance because Islam can be very sloppy as he's attempting to close the distance. And when he's trying to close the distance and he's got his hands out like The Walking Dead and he's moving forward like a zombie, looking to just clinch up with Oliveira, just get a hold of that waist, looking to drag him down. That's when Oliveira just has to piece him up. That's what I believe. But it's gonna be interesting. That's what makes the fight game so much fun. You never know what could happen. You never know what could happen. Can Makhachev come out there and maybe just ragdoll him and dominate him? Yeah, I'm sure. It's possible. I don't expect that to happen. I don't think that's super likely, but it is a real possibility, okay? Do I think that Oliveira could come out and just initiate the grappling with Makhachev, take him down and control him? I don't think that's likely. That's not gonna happen. I would say that's less than a 1% chance of happening. I think Oliveira has talked, he doesn't mind going to the ground with Makhachev. He doesn't mind grappling with Makhachev. Of course he's gonna say that. But when you look at Charles Oliveira's skill set and you look at Islam Makhachev's skill set, what's the path of least resistance? It's keeping the fight standing. Charles Oliveira knows that. He's smart enough to know that. Charles Oliveira's team is smart enough to know that. His coaches and everybody is smart enough to know that. So in that particular instance, why would you keep the fight in a position where you have the highest probability of coming out as the winner? So I really do believe Oliveira is going to try to avoid the clinch, avoid the grappling of Makhachev. He's not going to be worried. He's not going to be scared. He's not going to be Justin Gaethje desperation running for his life from the grappling. But I think he knows the highest chance of success against Islam Makhachev is to keep the fight standing, avoid the takedowns, avoid the top game of Islam Makhachev altogether, because he has a vast striking advantage. Okay, on the feet, Charles Oliveira is light years better in the striking department, in my opinion. The technical ability, the power, the variety of attacks. Islam is just kind of, he throws some hands. He doesn't throw too many kicks. He's not particularly like lightning fast. He's not throwing crazy combinations. His striking is a means to get the takedown to close the distance. He throws combinations to close the distance and then ragdoll your ass to the ground so then he can get on top of you, beat you up, look for a ground and pound finish, or look for a submission. That's what his striking is there to do. Is he defensively responsible? Yes. I believe Islam Makhachev is more defensively responsible on the feet than Charles Oliveira, which is why I'm a little bit worried about Oliveira's chin. But Oliveira offensively, I mean, the kicks, the teep kicks, the leg kicks, the hooks, the straight punches. I mean, Oliveira has an arsenal of attack in the striking, in the stand up that Makhachev just does not have available to him. It's just not there. It doesn't exist for Islam Makhachev. Islam Makhachev wants to come out, he wants to drag you to the ground, and he wants to control you and beat you up. Everybody knows that. Islam knows that. His coaches know that. And they also know, and the same thing said about Charles Oliveira in the striking, Islam knows, okay, maybe can he strike with Charles Oliveira for a little bit here and there? Yeah, he probably can. Is he defensively responsible enough where, maybe if he's super careful and, this and that, he can be salvageable in the stand up with Charles Oliveira? But what does Islam already know? What does his coaches already know? What does Habib know? Islam Makhachev's best path to victory is to get a hold of Charles Oliveira, take him down, control him on the ground, and look for a finish on the ground, or look to eke out a decision and avoid the jiu-jitsu and avoid the submission game of Charles Oliveira. They know that the striking, okay, maybe they could find some success. I doubt it, but maybe they could. In their minds, they would think, well, we can strike with the best of them. That's what they would think. But they know what's the highest probability to be able to come out the winner against a guy like Charles Oliveira? And the answer to that question is to take him down, control him on the ground, and beat him up on the ground, and tire him out, and make him chain wrestle, and make him try to scramble, and make him look for submissions. And then as the fight goes on, and as Charles Oliveira starts to get tired, and as Makhachev just starts to get more dominant ground and pound, they're eventually going to win the fight that way. They know that is the path to success for Islam Makhachev. Chain wrestling, scrambles, forcing Oliveira to work, beating him up on the ground, avoiding the submissions of Charles Oliveira, which they believe in their jiu-jitsu. And I think they do. I think Islam Makhachev does have good enough jiu-jitsu to avoid the submissions of Charles Oliveira. I've said it a million times. I think if Charles Oliveira submits Islam, it'll be in a transitional space. It won't be Islam chilling in half guard or chilling in full guard, landing some little ground and pound, body head, and all of a sudden Oliveira throws up a triangle. I don't see that happening. I think if it happens, if Charles Oliveira submits Makhachev, it'll be on a sloppy takedown. It'll be after Oliveira hurts him. It'll be in a weird scramble where Oliveira ends up on his back, and next thing you know, he locks in the choke before Islam can even prepare for it. Okay? So I don't think Makhachev's gonna be particularly worried about the submission. I think he believes in his jiu-jitsu. Is it gonna be fun to watch? Hell yeah. I think Makhachev has great submission game. I think Makhachev has great ground skills. I think Makhachev has great jiu-jitsu. But Charles Oliveira, you can say all the same things about him. But at the end of the day, even though that Charles Oliveira is a very good grappler, an amazing Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy, an amazing submission guy, in a way, this is striker versus grappler. I hate to say that because it's kind of disrespectful to Charles, but Charles and his team know the path to least resistance, the path of least resistance is to strike with Makhachev and try to put him out. And maybe that leads to the submission. Maybe he rocks him and then locks up the guillotine. Maybe he rocks him and then jumps on his back as Makhachev's kind of putting his hands down and looking to get his base back and next thing you know Oliveira just leaps on his back and chokes him out. That's possible. But it all starts with the striking of Charles Oliveira. That's what it starts with, the striking. And for Makhachev, we all know he has to close that distance. And that's really the key to the fight. For Islam Makhachev, how does he close the distance? Is he able to close it safely without getting lit up on the feet, without getting lit up in the clinch, without getting rocked? I don't know. That's the big tell in this fight. Can he close the distance without getting absolutely destroyed by the striking of Charles Oliveira? That's the big question because if he can close that distance and he can get a hold of Charles Oliveira, it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very interesting from there. But Oliveira, Makhachev, one of the greatest stylistic matchups in very many years. Another fight that I was just as excited for as this fight, and this is going to be kind of an overlooked fight. TJ Dillashaw versus Dominic Cruz. That was an amazing stylistic matchup as well. I mean, this matchup between Oliveira versus Makhachev may be the most excited I've been, in 5, 6 years because I've talked about DC Jones too. I've talked about Habib Connor. I think I'm more excited for this fight than I was for both of those fights. The hype for this fight for me would be right up there with Anderson Silva versus Chael Sonnen 2, UFC 148. That's probably the most hyped I've ever been for a fight. The rematch. What made me a fan was the original fight between Anderson and Chael. I was watching up until that point, but that fight solidified me as a hardcore MMA fan, and this fight's right up there. And I don't know, we make our predictions. I believe in my predictions. I'm not just throwing shit at the wall and hoping it sticks. But you never know with a fight like this. You don't know. I was very confident Oliveira would submit Gaethje. I was confident that Oliveira would submit Dustin. This fight is really a tough fight to pick, but I really believe whoever wins, it will be a dominant win or a relatively dominant win. Whoever does win this fight, whether it be Charles Oliveira or Islam Makhachev. So I forgot what question I was answering because we just went on like a 10-minute rant. But I appreciate your question. I appreciate you guys watching the stream. If you guys have any more questions, throw them in the chat. Throw them in the chat. Throw them in the chat. I would greatly appreciate it. We're gonna go to 2 hours, and then I'm gonna switch to my one championship stream. So throw your UFC 280 questions in the chat if you want them answered. Okay. And what other fights were you guys from the past few years? What other fights for you guys were you just as excited for as you are for Islam Makhachev versus Charles Oliveira? That's the one. That's the answer I want to know. What do you think will be fight of the night tomorrow? That is a tough one. That is a tough one. I'll say. I don't know. I'll say TJ Dillashaw. Charles from the DMV. Okay. Crazy the fighters are sleeping right now, and we're the ones waiting while they'll be up in the blink. Yeah. Who do you think won between TJ and Cruz back in the day? I thought Cruz won that fight. Cruz, in my opinion, I agree. I honestly think Charles gets taken down 10 times out of 10. We'll see. He's got to close the distance to take him down, though. Do you know who the YouTuber is? And did you see him get KO'd in boxing? No, I did not. I've never heard of it. So Charles gets taken down every time versus Islam. It's almost 6 a.m. here in Abu Dhabi. I have a weird feeling that they're both going to be afraid to hit the mat, and it's going to be a striking match. I don't think so. I think Makhachev's going to want to drag it to the ground. I don't even remember what question I was answering. Was it from you, Fast? Um, I don't know who it was from. I don't know what question I was answering. So either way, guys, if you're watching right now and you have not liked the stream yet, do me a favor and like the stream. Also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, I will be streaming UFC 280 tomorrow. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications and join me watching UFC 280 tomorrow afternoon around 1 p.m. Eastern time. I will be getting streaming. Crazy there. Okay, read that. Just announced Frankie Edgar moved to main card of UFC 281. Oh, I guess for his retirement fight. What is the time of the fight? 2 p.m. Eastern time, main card start time. I honestly don't expect crazy scrambles from Charles, at least not that much. We'll see. 8 a.m. prelims. That's West Coast, isn't it? Right? Or, okay, 10 a.m. It's 10:30 a.m. Eastern time for the first fight. As New Jersey residents, Frankie Edgar's retirement fight is going to be sad for me. I've seen him fight live too. Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, we've all seen people go who like, damn, this is kind of the end of an era. What's going on? I really don't know. Malcolm Gordon has a shot. However, he's awkward and crazy things may happen. Put a very small bet on him. I doubt it. I mean, that's probably my most confident pick on this card. That's probably my most confident pick on this card. Um, is Makhachev. I'm happy ones on tonight. Yeah, I will be streaming one championship here in a little bit. Some high level MMA the night before UFC 280 is something. Rip Aljo. I believe TJ Dillashaw wins. TJ is the bantamweight goat if he beats Aljo, in my opinion. We can make the debate for sure. I am so excited for UFC 280, the execution of O'Malley. I think I'm going to have a heart attack. There you go. There you go. I'm looking forward to the card as well. What's up? Keep out. If I'm being honest, I'm a huge fan of Conor, and I'm excited for Charles versus Islam, then Habib Conor. That makes sense. Firas Zahabi was favoring Islam based on his judo. Apparently, he did not see Moises take Charles down or make it competitive. He did take him down. Was it competitive? I don't know. What do you think of the rumors Tito and Chael fighting again? I don't think anything about him. I have no desire to see that. That sounds like a CTE fest. And versus Izzy, I was excited for. I was very excited for that one as well. What do you think will be fighting tonight? Answer that. Rob versus Izzy 2 and Burns Chimaev. I was excited for. Yeah, but to this capacity, I wasn't nowhere near. I was really excited for Jan Sandhagen. Yeah, me too. That was a great fight, and that lived up to the hype as well. Yeah, it was me. I don't even remember what the question was, but I hope it was a good answer. I hope you got your money's worth back. Of this magnitude, last fight with this much excitement was Conor versus Habib. Yeah, but stylistically, I didn't think that was this is a much better fight. What's up, JJ Smoke? Let's go. Fighting starting in 12 hours for me in the UK. I hope everybody enjoys them. Bo Nickel already pulling me out. Yeah, Bo Nickel, aka Bo Pickle, stubbed his toe, and then he realized that Jamie Pickett wasn't a grocery store cashier. So he said, "You know what? You know what? You know what? Eat. I'm out of here. Give me a grocery store cashier in the next fight." I was pretty hyped for Masvidal versus Nate, but that was kind of a letdown. I was there live. I was there live. Love to see Bilal get slammed after slipping on the haterade post Leon feel good win. A lot of people think Bilal rubs, Bilal Muhammad rubs a lot of people the wrong way, for sure. Malcolm Gordon makes Cowboys Cerrone look like he had a granite chin. What? Okay, I'm not. Chael is irrelevant, to be honest. Yeah, Chael is very irrelevant. The one I'd be excited for would be Usman Chimaev if it happened. Yeah, I'm right up there with you. I have a video from the beginning of this year, fights I most want to see in 2022, and I think second on the list is Islam Makhachev, Charles Oliveira. Joey, did you see Frank Edgar move to the main card? Yes, I did see. Somebody just let me know that. Um, Makes sense to me. Makes sense. Bo Pickle, yeah, we call him Bo Pickle here, okay? We call him Bo Pickle. Do you believe the main event is 50-50? For me, I'm like 60-40 Charles. Is Sean Brady the future? Future contender, yeah. Is Frankie going to unretire to join PFL? Probably. I have a hard time believing that Frankie Edgar is gonna sit out. He's just a guy that's always, always, he's been fighting for so long. I just have a hard time believing he's hanging it up for good. Probably gonna go to PFL, hope to get that $1,000,000, um, and we'll see if he does it. We'll see if he does it. Alright, guys, final questions in the chat. Now then I will be going on to do another stream, and it'll be my one championship stream. Let's see, there's probably people waiting for it right now. Yeah, it says there's a couple people waiting. I will get that link ready to post in the chat for you guys if you guys wanna join me there as well. We can talk some 280 there as well. Um, okay, I think Bilal being on Team Habib made him cocky. Maybe, I don't know, it's hard to say. Stylistically, I was really looking forward to Darren Till versus Wonderboy. I mean, it was a decent fight, but I wasn't super excited. No disrespect, but how do you get your credentials in MMA? How do you get your credentials in MMA? I'm not sure. You're gonna have to rephrase the question. What exactly do you mean? Like credentials to go to an event? You're asking the wrong guy. Let's be honest, who watches PFL? I do. I do, but not it's the pacing is god awful. Bo Pickle says he didn't want to fight on the prelims. That is true. I've heard of it, but I'm not really into that stuff at all. But I'll have to check it out one of these days. All right, guys, listen very closely. Tomorrow afternoon, I will be streaming UFC 280. I will be here for some of the prelims and the entire main card. Immediately afterwards, I will be streaming a live post-fight reaction. But if you guys want to join me, I will be watching the fights. You can join my live stream, get all my reactions for the UFC 280 fight card tomorrow around roughly 1 p.m. Eastern time. Thank you for joining the pre-fight. If you guys want to join me, I'm gonna be starting up another stream in a few minutes here. One championship stream. This is the stream right here. If you need the link, I'll be streaming and watching the John Lineker fight for one on Amazon Prime 3. If you want to join me there, we can talk some more UFC 280, but we're going to be watching some more championship fights. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much. And I'll be talking to you guys for another 2 hours here in a few minutes. Enjoy the rest of your night. If I don't see you, if you're not joining me for the one stream, I'll see you guys tomorrow. If you are joining me for the one stream, I will see you in a few minutes. The link I just posted in the chat if you want to follow over to my one championship stream. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget to like the stream before you go. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel before you go. And I will talk to you guys very, very soon, literally in like 2 minutes. So good night.